I know that the labor market will come back. It's kind of a question of when businesses will be comfortable in hiring more employees. We've seen an upswing in the labor market just in terms of less people are being fired and less people are collecting unemployment benefits. And that's great. But until hiring really picks up, we're not going to have that huge drop in unemployment. We're not going to have an increase in consumer spending. And we're going to continue to kind of lag in this recovery, which has been moving but slow going.
Why is that especially important for bank stocks?
So labor market statistics are really important for banks because it affects the housing market. So the labor market and the housing market are kind of the two drivers of a recovery. Nothing beats, housing wealth. And so for banks, which make the majority of their revenue based on loans, especially mortgage loans, it's very important to know kind of how the labor market is doing. So if people are being hired, they're getting steady income, they're more likely to be seeking out new borrowing opportunities. They might even be looking for, that American dream. I've got a great job, now I'm going to go out and buy a home. So the housing market, we have seen an improvement. But right now it's really being driven by refinancings because of the low interest rates and also from cash investors. And because credit standards are still so high after the financial crisis, people who are struggling in the labor market would certainly be turned down for new mortgages, which until we kind of see that turnaround, the banks are going to be performing at less than full strength. And of course, for investors, that's not what we want to see.
Given your confidence that the labor market will come back, doesn't that make it a good time to consider some bank stocks that maybe haven't benefited from that yet?
Absolutely. So right now, we're not seeing kind of the growth that we could, but as the recovery moves on, it's certainly going to affect these banks. And as housing recovery continues to chug along too, that will help with revenue growth and all of that. So because housing hasn't gone back to full strength, but we do know that the banks are performing well regardless, for a long-term investor, this might be a good opportunity to, put some cash into the banks and wait for that growth to come back with the full recovery.